They say every cloud has a silver lining. So here are the silver linings of becoming a parent. Because if that happens to you, you're just about to spend 16 years being responsible for another living person. Silver lining number one, the baby excuse. You now have the perfect excuse to get out of anything that you really don't want to do. Can you look after a cat when we go on holiday this summer? Oh, sorry, I can't. Samson's scared of cats. Can you come round and help us paint our lounge this weekend? Oh, sorry, I can't. I'll be looking after Samson. And he just put paint all over the place. You've got access to that silver lining for about 12 years. Silver lining number two, the accidental fart or burp. If you're out with your darling child and in the company of other people and you accidentally release a drop of wind, you now have someone else to blame it on. It wasn't me, it was him. Samson, how could you? Please bear in mind, however, you only have access to that silver lining for about 4 years, because by that time, Samson will be able to speak, and then he'll be able to dispute your misappropriation of blame. Silver lining number three, purchases. You now have the perfect excuse to buy any sweets and toys you want to, and you can eat junk food more frequently. And you can even buy a kid's meal just to get the toy without looking strange or like a cheapskate. You have access to that particular silver lining for about 13 years, because after that point, they just ask you for money and buy everything themselves. Silver lining number four, messiness. You can now make a mess and you have someone else legitimate to blame it on. If anyone visits your home, it's no longer your fault. Samson, look at the mess you've made. Sorry about that. He gets a bit carried away with his toys sometimes. You have access to that silver lining for about 5 years before Samson finally figures it out that you're blaming him for your mess. Silver lining number 5. You now have a constant companion. So you won't feel lonely, as like your shadow, he or she will happily go anywhere you do. You have access to that silver lining for about 10 years until they figure out they'd much rather go somewhere else without you. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your silver linings along with your parental responsibilities. Because once they're born, you can't stick them back in. So you might as well make the most of it.